I never said I was perfect, but I do believe what I have is worth it. And that's why I post these videos. Not because every recipe will be flawless the first time, but because I want to inspire someone else to realize that what they have inside of them is worth sharing too. Sometimes the mistakes are what give us the opportunity to grow, adjust, and become better. Little Debbie has been making oatmeal cream pies since 1935, almost 1 year. So you already know they have had plenty of time to perfect their recipe. But there's one ingredient that cannot be placed on a store shelf, and that's homemade love. We can walk into the store and buy almost anything, but somehow it tasted different when mama made it, or when grandma made it, maybe even daddy or grandpa. That's a flavor that cannot be recreated inside a factory. Those memories can't be bought. That's food that feeds more than just your stomach. It feeds the soul. So today I decided to try making my own version of oatmeal cream pie. Were mistakes made? Absolutely. But growth was also made too, because every mistake gave me a chance to learn. So let's get started. First, I preheated my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then I lined my baking sheets with parchment paper. For my wet ingredients, I started with 1 cup of melted unsalted butter, 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, and 1 cup of dark brown sugar. I mixed this by hand, but you can absolutely use a stand mixer. I mixed until everything came together into a smooth, creamy paste. One thing I learned the next time I make these, I want to try replacing half of the butter with 1/2 cup of shortening. This is to experiment with the texture. Now, after all of this, I added 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of grandma's molasses, 1 large room temperature egg, and then I mixed until everything was combined. Now we'll set the wet ingredients aside and work on our dry ingredients. In a separate bowl, I added 1 2/3 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 cups of quick oats, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 a teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cloves. Then I whisk everything together. The reason why we mix the dry ingredients separately is so that all the flavors can leaven the ingredients and they are evenly distributed before adding them to the batter. Now, another thing that I will try the next time I make this is I will place my quick oats into my food processor so I can have a more finely processed oats. Now we will combine our wet and dry ingredients. I gently folded the dry ingredients into the wet mixture. You can see I'm almost pressing it together, kinda like rubbing lotion into your skin and making sure you scrape the sides and the bottom of your bowl. Continue until you don't see any more dry flour. Now here's a quick message. Before we keep going, I just want to say it has been such a joy creating these recipe videos. Last week, I shared my Chobani raspberry lemonade no bake pound cake. Yes, no bake, no oven pound cake. That is a recipe that I created completely from start to finish. Everything was inspired by me, created by me. Because of that, I decided to start sharing my original recipes on my Face Bakery website. You can find the link in the description and pinned in the comment section below. If you make any of these recipes, I would love to hear how they turned out for you. Now back to our oatmeal cream pies. I used an 1-ounce scooper and placed about 5 cookies per baking sheet. Now these cookies will spread a lot, so please give them room. I baked mine at around 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes. However, my first test batch, I baked at 375 degrees and they browned a little bit more than what I wanted. So remember, every oven is different. After baking, I let them sit on the pan for about 10 minutes. Then I transferred them onto a cooling rack for about 30 minutes. Make sure they are completely cooled before adding filling. For the cream filling, I started with 2 sticks of unsalted butter, and these butters have been softened. I used my whisk attachment and I whipped this until they became light and fluffy. Then I switched to my paddle attachment and I added 3 cups of confectioner's sugar, vanilla extract to taste, about 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and I added heavy whipping cream until I reached my desired texture. However, I started with about 3 teaspoons of heavy cream to start, but I continued to add more and more until the filling has reached the creamy texture I was looking for. I also experimented with marshmallows. Would I recommend this? No, unless you melt them first. Adding them whole will make the filling harder to pipe because of the thickness. For piping, I use just a simple rounded tip. No fancy design is needed. Just pipe the filling, sandwich the cookies together, and enjoy. Now here are some of my baking tips. It's just a few things I have learned along the way. Make sure your melted butter cools before adding your egg, because hot butter can start to cook your ingredients. Use dark brown sugar because it gives the classic oatmeal cream pie color and deep flavor. Room temperature eggs are usually best for baking. If your cookies are spreading too much, chill your dough before baking. If they are browning too fast, lower the temperature or adjust your oven rack. My first batch was at 375 degrees Fahrenheit. My second was at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I am still learning. This is what baking is: learning, adjusting, and growing. Because sometimes the sweetest things comes from the lessons we learn along the way. So I want to say thank you for baking with me. This is Face Bakery, made with faith and baked with love. Don't forget to go ahead and comment and subscribe. I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.